Chips. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready?
Let's roll, baby.
Man, look. Hey, appreciate. Look, we not even gonna go to the roll call because man, we got breaking news to talk about right from the get go, and we got a head ball coach, fellas.
Men's
And
basketball.
I'm talking men's basketball. Just 30 minutes ago, they beat us to the punch. But anyway,
it was a race. It was a race around the nation. We tipped them off.
Exactly. Shout out to Josh Padilla. I'm sure they had it planned anyway. But yes, our new head men's basketball coach, the 15th head coach, is none other than Coach Patrick Crarey II. Now you may say, who is this? Who is Patrick Crarey?
Me.
Who this?
who this? Being down here in Florida in the coaching circles, I know him. I know of him through one of my assistant coaches that I coach with at my high school. He coached with him just a year ago. So, but let me read the press release, fresh off the presses here from our VP and Director of Athletics, Tiffany Dawn Sykes. She names Patrick Crarey, the 15th head men's basketball coach at Florida A&M on April 17th, 2024. She says, quote, "I'm delighted to welcome Coach Crarey and his family as the newest members of the FAMU. I must thank the dedicated members of the search committee for their diligent efforts in identifying Patrick amidst a pool of interested and talented candidates. During this process, I received countless emails and messages from people who shared that they wanted a winner, and Patrick's reputation as a winner precedes him. I look forward to his fresh perspective and the leadership he'll bring as we usher in a new era for FAMU men's basketball." Coach Crarey says, quote, "Rattler Nation, I am humbled and elated to join the family as the new head coach of the men's basketball team at the #1 public HBCU, Florida A&M University. I am extremely thankful to President Robinson and AD Sykes for entrusting me with the opportunity to lead this program. We look forward to building strong relationships with the student body, faculty, staff, alumni, and the Tallahassee community. Our program is poised to become a perennial contender in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and I can't wait to get started." All right. So, who is Patrick Crarey, huh? You guys still trying to figure that out, huh?
Yeah, tell me, please.
All right. Well, here's a little some bio info on Patrick. He is coming to us from St. Thomas University, where he has been the head coach at St. Thomas University. Now, if you're not familiar, that is down in Miami Gardens, Florida, right down the street from Florida Memorial University. They're part of the Sun Conference, an NAIA school. He had a 61-27 record in his 3 seasons at St. Thomas, 2 consecutive NAIA tournaments, 3 straight winning seasons in the 3 years that he was leading the Bobcats. This past season, he led the Bobcats to a 22-9, 10-4 record in conference, where they were the Sun Conference regular season champs. The Bobcats made the NAIA tournament second round and finished the season ranked 21st in the nation. The Bobcats' regular season success led to Crarey being named the Sun Conference Coach of the Year. He and the Bobcats saw a league-high 5 members selected to the all-conference team, led by Milton Matthews, Josh Taylor, Sarius Warren on the first team, Anthony Harris and Jordan Hernandez on the second. Matthew was also named an NAIA All-American second team. Some additional bio info that you can, if you're watching us on one of our feeds, you can see that he's from Washington, D.C. He did do some coaching at Washington Adventist University for about a decade prior to coming to St. Thomas. And he was now in 2014, that school won the USCAA men's Division I national championship. He later on, I believe, when Adventist moved to NAIA status, he was the AII Conference Coach of the Year. Then, of course, came over to St. Thomas University. You can see he's been in 6 NAIA tournaments, had 6 20-win seasons. There's the resume, folks. 39 years old, a young, exciting, ready to hit the ground running. I'm told he's a great recruiter. That current roster at St. Thomas was full of Division I guys that he got out of the portal. So he has recruited Division I talent. I in talking with my guy that I coach with here at the high school level, nothing but positive words, and not just saying that because he worked with him, but I mean this is the fit, guys, that I thought would be a good fit for our program. What are your thoughts right now?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, with all everything going on in the off season, and I mentioned this to us off air, this wasn't the NAIA coach that we had that first came to mind when it came to our opening. But I'm really interested in giving him a shot. He's young. And I was wondering, I hadn't really had a chance to look up his bio, so I'm glad you got all this compiled. So he has ties to the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
Been in Florida for 3 years. I don't know to what degree he's established enough.
He's established some good roots from what my guy tells me. He has established a very good relationship. Especially now, he's in South Florida. Miami Gardens is right there in South Florida.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. I'm just talking like the state and establishing, and it'll be interesting given the new state of recruiting in the college landscape across all sports, but especially the revenue sports. His take on roster building.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding that, and how he mixes high school and college and what relationships he can establish. So it'll be an interesting fit. We kind of, talked about it before in terms of some of the characteristics that we're looking for. He may not have, say, the Division I experience that some might clamor for, but if truth be told, I know I was on the Chris Wright bandwagon. So he's not quite, in terms of resume, like the last 2 years, the same as Chris Wright, having gotten to the championship at least once or twice or close to it. But, if we're building, if we're looking to start the slate clean with a young person who hopefully will have the pulse and be able to talk to today's recruitable athlete, he's had a good 2 or 3 year run to do that. So I'm willing to give him a shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kelvin, what are your initial thoughts?
A lot of what Marcus said, but didn't they lose in the NAIA to Florida Memorial?
Well, they lost to Florida Memorial in the tournament championship game.
Yeah. Okay.
The finals. Yeah, the
Okay.
championship
All right.
game. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was looking for someone younger. So his age is fine. He has head coaching experience, but is Washington Adventist NAIA also or lower?
They became NAIA. They started, though, if you see the resume there, in 2014, they were part of the USCAA prior to moving to the NAIA.
So I would say this, like Marcus, I'll give it I'll wait and see what happens. I'm not going to slam it, but no NCAA experience, and that sticks out. He had several winning season, coach of the year. I do believe that winners win. So I think what's going to be key for him, frankly, is the staff he puts together.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope he gets a very, he has enough relationship connection to get a experienced assistant head coach, associate head coach that has NCAA experience. That's the one thing I'll be looking for, and then the rest can be figured out. And The only other thing I say about this, it appears, given the names that we know were available and who are out there, and then given the fact that we branded part of LeBron, there were some more qualified names out there, but they would have cost more. So,
Yep.
so I think this is a budget higher, but it may work. So we'll see.
It's interesting, and when you say a budget higher, I know that some people will hear that and throw a negative connotation to it, but I'm going to hold to what I've said. We are a Division II NAIA program in a Division I outfit. We don't spend the money on our basketball program like a division, like even a mid-major program. I mean, Drew and I were talking earlier on Sunday. I didn't even know, he was referencing low, what did he say? Low major, low division. I didn't even know there was like a third level to being in Division I. Like there was, usually I just thought it was high major, mid major. Nah, there's low major. And it's like, hell, we are low major. I mean, honestly, let's keep it real. We are what we are. I've been trying to tell people this. We are what, until we spend more money and generate more money, right, with our basketball program, we are what we are. So I maintain having someone from the D2 NAIA level is somebody who's willing to grind, who doesn't have all of the bells and whistles that even a mid-major program that spends $2 to $3 million in their basketball budget have. He probably didn't have that at St. Thomas, right? So here's somebody who's willing to get out and work and grind and build something. And that's what this program has needed for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
That part, I think we all can sit here and agree on. We needed somebody who would grow this program. And Marcus, I'm gonna steal your thought, because you're the one that first put this thought in my head. Hey, if we have to become that stepping stone to the next job in Division I, so be it. Let us be that program, as long as we've got the next whatever, right?
Yeah. And to be honest, the two things I'll throw, I mean, I'm not the basketball guy, as you guys know, so I'll leave that to you and Liv. But from that standpoint, I look at it like, we all clamor. If we look back, we're all clamoring about the Mike Gillespie days 15, almost 20 years ago. Well, he came from.
And where did he come from? Where did Gillespie come from?
He came from junior college.
Junior
TCC.
college. Exactly.
And
national champion.
And I know, and for us, at least maybe the three of us, and I don't know to what degree Kelvin was on the bandwagon, or you, Bryan, but I know we talked about the appeal of Chris Wright and his affinity for turning around programs quickly at two HBCUs. He was at Talladega, got them to the playoffs, and then he went to Langston. So, I mean, if we're looking apples to apples, we're getting a coach from the same level, might not have had the same degree of instantaneous success, like getting to, I guess, at Talladega, I think he got to the finals or something like that before he jumped to Langston. And then second round, I think last year, he got an extension, and then he got to the championship game this year and probably should have had the championship. So we're not getting that same resume, but we're getting someone who could be potentially on the same trajectory, and someone who's not foreign to the state. So there's no that aspect of it. So like you said, Bryan, we are where we are in terms of the program. We're a program wearing some other clothing, and we have to build on that and take advantage of that with what we've allocated. And if we want to have a different type hire, then we have to have overall, in terms of fans, university support, all that, invest in basketball more than we have.
And interesting thing, someone has said that the boosters are stepping up so that he can start right away until we clear the line from the previous coach. So that's
contract.
I
just saw that in there too. About I think it was $20,000. Bull appreciate that. Bull said the boosters donated $20,000 until his contract kicks in July 1. And that's perfect. That's what needs to happen.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good intel, Bull. Appreciate you dropping that.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm not, overly disappointed. I mean, what, we won 4 games this year?
6. Oh, you mean in conference? 4.
So
5
so
previous 5 last year. Yeah.
so
4
so
this
I'm
past.
so yeah, he's on board. He's a choice. So let's go Rattlers men's basketball.
Exactly.
The one thing I will say though, we'll probably never find out. It would have been nice to know what was the process, right?
Yeah, and I see
Who
a
was
lot
on
of
the committee, who
yeah.
applied,
You knew who was
who
on
you interviewed.
You knew all that.
Now I see rumblings. No, I know. I have the Chris Wright thing, but also
Stop it.
someone brought to my attention that he signed that extension in 2023 after he took Langston. I guess he's been there 3 years, 4 years, and he went like 1-31 or something his first year, and then like second round or third round of the NAIA championships 1 year, and then
Who are you
this year
talking about?
retired.
Right?
Chris Wright. Yeah, I see some folks talking about it. Why didn't we
No.
go after him? We don't know if we did or didn't, but he signed a contract extension, and I don't know what his salary is.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much money we have to mess around with, but someone who got a contract extension after the second year probably has a buyout clause that's probably at least half the remaining contract or something like that. So we don't know if it was cost prohibitive to try to buy him out of his contract and then sign, and what would it take to get him here, whether it's what type of contract or the level of investment the school would have to do in order to entice him away from Langston. Don't know. That's all speculation. So we could either have dropped the ball on offering him or talked to him, or it could have been like, you know what? That's a little too rich for our blood. We don't know.
Well, look, so just to clarify for anyone who was curious about him, the year that he led Talladega, which was 3 years ago, to the national championship game, that was the year Langston went 1 and whatever, right?
Okay.
And then he left Talladega and came the next year and took a team that had just won 1 game and won 30-something games. And they lost in I think they made it to the round of 16, or I think maybe even the round of 8, in round of 16 in the national tournament in his first year. I think they were like 30-3. Greatest turnaround in collegiate basketball history. I dare anybody to tell me you can find somebody who went like plus 29 or plus 30 in the program from one year to the next. And then this past season is when they were even better and went to the national championship game. So, and that's when he signed that contract. And smart on the AD at Langston to get him in a contract extension that would, I think, push him to, I think it was 28, either 27 or 28. And it must have been pretty good because Coach Wright, he's a very loyal guy, but he had to know the market for his services was going to be hot. And for him to sign that extension must have been financially worth it. And Langston alums must have ponied up some real money to keep him. And with that, they probably did put a buyout clause in there. And I don't know,
Or
exactly.
Or we could be cheap.
It's true.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Now, what's also interesting about this process, there were plenty of names that pulled their names out of the hat because this process, I mean, took, let's see, how long? A month? I mean, in a month, we've watched like schools we've seen schools with a coach that left and then they hired a new guy 48 to 72 hours later. And for FAMU, it took 4 weeks, maybe 5. So there's a lot. There's people who took jobs that may have been interested in the FAMU job that said, I can't wait around for this process.
Right.
As clunky as it is, we can't wait around, and may have gone on to got better jobs, or at least better paying jobs during this whole time. So
yeah,
it was one of those situations where you knew. I just started feeling like last week, okay, when I saw that Hoop Dirt article come out, you could tell by the list of names, okay, it was people either in what positions? Either people that had maybe just lost a job,
Out of a
people
job.
people who were out of a job, or people at the D2 NAIA level that were looking for an opportunity to step up. Every name on that list, if you go back to that Hoop Dirt article, every name on that list, and it's funny, at the end of it, they said the next coach was going to be one of the names in that list. And Crarey's name actually was further down. So if there was a real betting market, you could have made some real money on picking Patrick Crarey for that post. But some of those other guys were, I say maybe I use it affectionately when I say a retread, but similar to what we've had, guys who have been in Division I for 20, 30 years. Some of those guys had good resumes.
Will Jones wasn't. He didn't fit. He wasn't.
Well, that was and look, that's the name that was kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
That I started maybe hearing some rumblings that maybe, could Will Jones possibly be the guy? But we got our guy.
Yeah.
We got our guy.
We got to roll now.